I got 4 channel in my house. Yeah, 4 channels.
All right, so we are
Stop it and then press the eject.
we are going live here on YouTube. We got about 30 seconds and we'll be live on River West Radio. So hang in there, stand by, and show is about to begin. Diva, so glad you're here, hon. We are a wonderful guest. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to meet Mark yet, but you're gonna love the conversation. I'm so happy you're here.
Looking forward to it.
Welcome to Ability MKE Now. My name is Sue Roskoff. Ability MKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities, and here at Ability MKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own, with people we know, or with people we encounter in our daily lives. Here at Ability MKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. I am exceptionally excited to have our guest joining us tonight. But before we bring him in, I'm going to go ahead and bring in the illustrious Denise Vargas to join the conversation. Diva, how you doing tonight?
I am doing fabulous. Thank you once again for having us here. I am really looking forward to hearing about our awesome guest. I'm like, I hopped in today.
I'm so glad you're here. You are the epitome of living creatively. And I think what Mark is going to be talking about, you are going to connect with immediately. So suspense no further. Mark Collins is coming to us from California. He is a business and life coach, pastor, husband and father, and he has a passion for transformation. He helps men to unleash the hero they were created to be and to live the life they were created for, not just dream about it. Mark, so glad to have you joining us tonight. How are you?
I'm doing great, Sue. Thanks for having the conversation with me. I'm looking forward to this.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit more about you and what you do.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Well, other than the bio, the details I would probably say is that my passion is exactly what you said. I tell the people I work with that my passion is to unlock and unleash your hero up from the inside and let that person come out on the outside. So what I try to do is give tools and strategies and abilities for people to be able to kind of live what I say from who they're created to be versus what your life has told you. We all have a life and we have all had experiences in past and things, and even people in our lives that have told us a certain version of who we are. We call it identity in the work that I do. And what I try and do is separate lies from truths in their life, help them to live from the truth of who they are, and in that place have what I call the impact in the world that has their name on it.
I love it. And I know you have written a book too that goes into a lot of this. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. My book title is Life Mastery, Living Life by Design, Not by Default. It and my course, which is also called Life Mastery, really comes from my own journey and figuring that out for myself, having the man on the inside show up on the outside in confidence and assurance and abilities and passion and all the things that make me me. And so my journey led to the things that we've talked about in helping other people, but it also led to my book. And just to be honest, Sue, the other motivation behind my book was my mom told me I needed to write a book. So I was so overjoyed that I published it last November and I was able to put the first copy in my mom's hands, and she read portions of it before she passed away in April. So it was super exciting to have my #1 fan get my first book.
Oh, I love that. I'm sorry to hear that she's gone now. Gone, but so wow, what a blessing to have that be something that you were able to share with her. I love that. That one got me. That's amazing. With what you all do then with bringing out that inner hero, I'm trying to think where to start with this because I've got so many questions going through my mind right now. What is the best place that you start with people? Where do you begin? How do you set that stage and go?
That's a great question, and the place we always start, the foundation of everything I work with, is identity. I joke with people, Sue, that if my wife says I can't have a tattoo, but if I could get a tattoo, it would say identity is everything. And
Wow.
it really comes down to that concept that I talked about, living from who you're created to be versus what your life has told you. And it doesn't mean we haven't had life that's happened, tragedies, issues, challenges, disabilities, or whatever the things are that make up our physical body. But what I try and do is help people to start to unpack who you are versus what you can or can't accomplish, the things you have done or will do, the things that you've walked through or you will walk through. And so it's really kind of separating that, again, who you're created to be. And in that place, being able to understand that there's tools to help you to maximize the life that you want to live and actually have, I'm assuming I'm not alone in having those hopes and dreams and ideas of things that you'd love to do, would like to accomplish, like to be able to have, success in or an impact in. It's really starting to rekindle some of those things. And like the title of my book, it's Life by Design, Not by Default. Most of the time, most of us, myself included, are believing that life is something to be managed, not mastered, that you're living from, you're left with who you are, whether it's, psychologically, physically, or emotionally, and you just have to manage it to the best of your abilities and overcome the things you can and deal with the things you can't. But life by design, that life that we try and help to envision for people and help them to understand for themselves is a life where I can actually have an impact, that I don't have to be limited by those things that I thought were holding me back, but I can actually overcome them. And in that place, that belief and that hope that I have on the inside can actually become a reality in my life.
Absolutely love that. Diva, I know I'd love to have you come on in and join this conversation because I'm betting he's hitting some hot buttons with you.
Oh my gosh, yes. It's so funny. It's like you and I work with in the same field. I work with women, you work
Hmm,
with men, but
nice.
ultimately we're helping them live the life of their dreams, right? Like I always
Yeah,
say, I have a disability, but it's never stopped me from getting anything I wanted in life. I just need to tweak things to work for me. And I tell the same
yeah.
thing to other people. What are your dreams? What is it that you want to ultimately do in life? Who is telling you no? How can we get you to say yes to your dreams?
That's phenomenal. In fact, it reminds me of a conversation I had this morning with someone, and part of it was really unpacking that, Diva, and helping them understand that, who's told you that you can't do whatever the dream is, the goal is, the thing is that you desire for yourself. I love that you are not just somebody who's giving those tools and strategies to the people you work with, but you're actually a living example. I think that's so powerful because sometimes we listen to people with good ideas, but what's much more impactful when we can see somebody with a testimony and follow that example.
Oh, absolutely. And just like you said, we all have challenges, right? Like in my case, it's a physical disability.
Hmm.
In someone else's case, it might be that they're a single dad, a single mom, right? That's a challenge. So how do we work around those challenges to get to where we want to and not have that, oh, I can't, I don't have time, I don't have the
Yeah.
energy, or no one's going to support me. I'm all alone in this. Well, you know that? You're not alone in this, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I love the support that you're giving, and that's such a great thought because what I tell people is, there's a physical truth that you can only have one thought at a time. And so you have a choice again, life by design or by default. Default is I just manage the negative thoughts when they come, either allow them to kind of take root in my life or try and fight them off with, whatever mantra or affirmation I have. The truth of the matter is you can actually choose your thoughts, even those that come, if you continue to recite and remind yourself of the truth of who you are, the things that you can do, the less time you have to remind yourself of the challenges you're coming up against or the things you can't do. You have a choice of one or the other. One gives you exactly what you're demonstrating in your life and what you're inviting people into, Diva. The other one holds you back from that, right? One's an anchor holding you back, and one is a rocket ship launching you forward. So I try and invite them like you do with the tools we have to understand that, hey, you can master your thoughts. And in doing that, the thing I focused on, I give power to in my life. Why not focus on things that are empowering and uplifting and in giving me the ability to do, those things that I want to do. Again, the thing I tell people, there's an impact in the world that has your name on it. Let's put some tools towards it so you can see it lived out in your life.
Absolutely. And those tools often come in the form of a person, a coach, a mentor, right?
Yeah. No, absolutely. That's the secret sauce. That's the advantage. That's where it's great reading books and having courses, but it's so much great and greater having a mentor because they give you that shortcut to success that you can figure it out on your own. And certainly you can use good strategies and tools and ideas to get somewhere. But man, when there's somebody there who could give you a quick answer, who kind of tweak your thoughts or your actions or the things you're doing, then you can really supercharge and accelerate that success or that, accomplishment that you want to have in your life. So love the work you're doing.
Thank you. Absolutely love what you're doing. And absolutely. And sometimes what we need is someone to be on our side and know that we can do it, even if we at that moment don't believe that we can do it. We have that person that's cheering us on rather than letting us down.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that in your work as well. I call it a forerunner. Like in families or in relationships, it only takes the first person to get to that place, whatever that thing is, overcoming something, being able to accomplish something, or be able to walk through those challenges in their life. So that's where the mentor, the coach gives you that ability because you've shown them that there's a path. I tell the people I work with, I used to go to Utah every summer because that's where my family was. And I can tell you exactly how to get to my parents' house because I've been there. And it's the same with success and overcoming challenges and accomplishing things in your life despite the disabilities and challenges you have. I can't take you a place, Diva, you can't take them a place that you haven't been, but because you have, you can show them exactly how to get there and how to overcome the challenges along the way.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that idea. Love that thought.
Yeah, I've never thought of it in that way, and that is so clear, and anybody can understand that and can relate to that. That I love it. I do have one more friend that is in the background here that can join in this conversation as well. I want to give Alan a chance to come on in and say hi. Our wonderful friend Alan Holmes, our mastery of connections. Alan, come on in and say hello. How are you tonight?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right. I trying to change a little schedule. I normally dial in on the phone, and I was able to call. Well, I've been listening in the background. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Nice to meet you, Mr. Collins. I kind of got the tail in it. Would love to know about what you do. Diva, hello, my angel life coach for independent powered women. That is. Who am I? I'm Master Connector. Specialized in connecting business owners, entrepreneurs, and consumers with unique and innovative resources. In short, I call myself a human search engine, a human collaborator. Master Necker grew up in Compton, not a tagline, straight out of Compton. Served it proudly as a U.S. Army 13 veteran. So, eradicating poverty, ending mental health stigma, as my wife has one, but I said mental wellness, and educated on financial literacy. I'm just here to be a collaborating, connecting, and networking, and just hanging out with my great friends and newfound entrepreneur, Mr. Mark Collins, and Ability Now, and Sue Roscoff Curtis hanging out somewhere in the background. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of this world. Happy, happy, happy Wednesday to all of you and holidays.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Alan. And you know what? Mark's kind of in your neck of the woods. You guys are both California boys.
Yep, I'm in Southern California, Alan, and Bellflower, so not too far from Compton. Not sure if you're still living in Compton, but we're
No, living
close
in
neighbors.
Riverside County area, Hemet, going
Okay.
away to Cucamonga, but I know what Bellflower is. I remember growing up in, oh, now you're going to date me. I grew up in the Compton area, but I remember Bellflower had the incredible car lots and I don't want to say too much, otherwise I'll owe royalties, but you know what Bellflower is. Hope you are doing well, sir, down there, because it's out here, it's 57 degrees. I don't like cold weather. No, no, no. I'm sitting back your way, sir.
Well, unfortunately, Alan, I already had that conversation with Sue, and I think she's got us both beat. So I don't know that we can complain about the 50s.
Agreed, agreed.
It's currently in the teens here right now, and the wind chill is in the teens below zero. So yeah, we're a little cooler than you guys right now.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Kirby warned me. You see, this what happens. We start. Okay, you see how I'm backpedaling out of this. I love it now. Thank you. Stay warm. Stay warm, Sue.
Yeah, you see, I got the flannel going on. I got a blanket. We got all the things. I even have a dog that's snuggled up to my ankle right now. So I'm in good shape here. We gotta love that.
Awesome.
So yeah, so Mark, I am so glad that you are here and can share the pieces that you are bringing. If you had a first kind of a thing that you would love to share with people as you're first starting to work with somebody, what is a good piece that it is a good starting point for somebody to I know you've already sparked a lot of thoughts with me, but where do you like to begin?
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that. So we start with three tools, and I'll unpack them really quickly because I know we don't have a lot of time. So there's three tools that we use to help people really kind of get a great well-rounded picture of their identity. The first one is an I am statement. And I tell the people I work with, I'll give you the first two words, the rest is on you. And it's the first two words are I am. And it's a statement of who you are. And what I tell the folks that I work with is it's who you are apart from your accomplishments, apart from your title, apart from your income, apart from all the outward things that we think make us us, apart from the car you drive, the home you live in, whatever the things are that you identify with. Who are you apart from that? If we were to take all those things I just talked about and set them aside, what would be left? Your character, your values, your passion, your likes, right? Your humor, all of the things that make you you. So the first thing we start with is an I am statement. And it is a really intentional sense of taking you apart from your accomplishments, because the thing that I want to impart on the people I work with is you have value before you accomplish things. You don't have value because you accomplish things. Whether you're a millionaire in business success, you're a school teacher, you're a student, you're a stay-at-home person, you're somebody who works part-time. It doesn't matter what you are. The thing that most people understand is I'm only good enough because I've accomplished these things. A lot of times we use it as a value statement. So we strip that away and say, no, you have value already. And because of your value, you accomplish things. You don't accomplish things to prove your value. Second tool is a celebration list. And this is one where I work with men primarily, but also with women. And for Diva, I'm sure she understands this as well. Sometimes this is a tough one for people. The second one's a celebration list. And for us, it's the answer to this question. What do you love about you? And so again, it's that value statement of understanding that you're a person of worth and value simply because you exist, not because you've done things or because you have accomplishments or attributes that other people say have value. So it's this question, what do you love about you? And in that place, you start to see that you have value already, that there's some things about you to love and to like. For most people I work with, if I was to give the mirror, just like with myself in my own life at a time, if I was to look in a mirror and somebody would say, what do you see? I would see the things that I'm lacking in, the things that I don't have versus the things that I do. And so the celebration list is really the transformation of that and saying, you already have value. And the more you see it, the more you'll see it. Meaning the more I recognize things that have value and worth in me, the more I'll see it in the things that I'll do. The less I'll be harsh in my life, the less I'll look at the negative side of what I have, the more I'll value the things I have. And the things that you focus on, you increase in your life. The third one is an accomplishment list. I tell the people I work with to write 20. I've written 138. And you know, Sue, that by the time you get past 10 or 20 or 30, all of the big stuff is off the table. When you get to 60, 70, 80, I have stuff on my list like I've graduated not from college, I have, not from high school, I have, but from junior high school. I get up on time. I pay my bills monthly on time. That wasn't always the case, but I'm diligently doing that and have for quite a few years. So it's the small daily successes in your life. When you get to a large enough number, you start to see that I am actually have a track record of success in my life. A lot of times, again, for many of us, we look for the big things. When I get that big accomplishment, when I get that Olympic gold medal, when I earn that $1 million, when I earn this thing or get this thing in my life, then I can celebrate, and then I can, celebrate the victory and appreciate it. The truth of the matter is, for most people of any level of success, if you don't celebrate the small things, you'll never get to the big ones. And so the accomplishment list is really helping people to understand. A lot of times we think we have that fear of failure. That's part of what's created the course for me and the book, was this fear of failure, that even when I was succeeding, it came along for the ride. Well, the counteraction to that is to see that I have a track record of success. And so for the people that I work with, it's giving you a tangible idea through writing down successes in your life that I succeed on a daily basis. It may be ordinary successes, but ordinary successes lead to extraordinary ones. And so with the I am list, with the celebration list, and with the accomplishment list, now all of a sudden you can start to get a more well-rounded picture of the person that you are. And in that place, that hero on the inside that I talked about, you can start to see who that person is and start to allow that person to come out, whether it's in, working with family or friends or being around other folks, having a job, getting an education, or whatever the thing is that you're doing.
Oh my goodness. I hope that everybody can hear this and take this to heart, because I was taking notes as you're saying these things, because it really, it makes so much sense. It speaks to everyone that if you stop looking at things on the surface, like,
Yeah.
what car do I drive? All these things that people want to say are the thing to look at. What are you wearing? All those, in my head, it's kind of like those surface items that you kind of put around you to make yourself look good and feel good. But wait a second, that's the fluff. I mean, really, who
Yeah.
are you as a person, and what is it that you bring? And sometimes it is kind of hard for us to step back and try to recognize, because we tend to doubt ourselves and have the fear, have the uncomfortability, and are uncomfortable with being
Yeah.
uncomfortable, and you know, it
Yeah.
we're in a good place. Sometimes we don't recognize how good things are within ourselves and what it is that we have. We all have so much value, but sometimes it takes somebody else to kind of poke us and say, okay, stop for a moment and take a look at what you bring. You have so many good things, and I absolutely love what you're doing. Diva, I'm gonna go ahead and pass over to you.
There's so many things that I've been digesting, as you've been saying. Some of the things of the I am statement. Oftentimes when people think about I am statements, they think about affirmations, like I am
Yeah.
strong, I am powerful, and they're wonderful. But when you think about all the other things that you are, that, you might not take pride in it, because maybe for you it's just an everyday thing. But I'll give you an example. For me, I am an independent disabled woman who lives alone.
Yeah.
And it took me a while to get there, because you
Amen.
don't always find accessible housing. You don't always find affordable housing, so those are all things that um you wouldn't think of in an I am statement. But the way you are talking about it, it really makes people sit back and say, oh, yeah, I am more than just your typical regular affirmations, right? There's so much
Yeah.
more to who you are and what makes you you, that I really love that. I also love the celebrations, as you mentioned. I call them wins and challenges.
Nice.
So when we start coaching, I talk about, first let's talk about our wins, then we talk about our
That's good.
challenges. So because you have to celebrate those little, even if it's a little win, it's a win. Like, oh, I woke up on time today. That's a win.
Yeah.
Or, oh, I woke up before the alarm went off. That's a really big win, at least for me anyway, right? So those are the little things that, all those little things add up. And before you know it, you have this huge list of amazing things that you've accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely. And it shows you that you're a person who can. And the thing about these three items, and kind of one of the sidebars that really people don't realize, is it also takes it away from other people. Meaning, a lot of times we look at folks around us and I'm not as good as, Joe across the street because he's got a better car, or, a wonderful, better job or more income or whatever the things are, or they've got this ability that I don't have, therefore they have more value than I do. In being able to start to, unpack some of these things, now all of a sudden that sabotage of comparison doesn't happen, because you're not looking at others for your value or comparing, am I as good as, but you're looking at yourself and authentically recognizing who you are. And the interesting thing, Diva, I love that word you said, affirmation, because that was one of the things in my own life that was a challenge. Was I tried generic affirmations, I am successful, I am confident, I am, whatever your I am statement is. And those generic affirmations for me never worked, because, there's thoughts that come into your mind. Yeah, but I'm not. Yeah, but I am dealing with fear. Yeah, but I didn't succeed at this thing yet. And in those places, your mind already knows that you're not that person. So those things that we just talked about, those 3 statements, we do use affirmations. And what we use are the things that we've just written down, your I am statement, celebration list, accomplishment list. When you remind yourself of the highest value of who you are, it's an affirmation that's aligned with the truth. And in that place, it has the chance to transform you, to transform your thoughts, to transform your belief system. And you start to see that man or woman show up on a consistent basis, not because of a generic affirmation that you're hoping to become, but know that you're really not, versus, no, I'm a person of worth and value. I'm a person that does accomplish things. I am a person of whatever your I ams are. And all of a sudden, you see that person more consistently and constantly in your life, and you start to celebrate it because that's the person you were created to be to begin with.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. I am just, I'm so happy that I'm here today and I got to meet you because you, like I said, you are the other person that I need to have in my toolbox so I can offer your services to those that I don't typically work with. I love that.
I feel the same way, Diva. Thank you so much. It's been an honor being able to meet you. And I feel like I'm talking to somebody who speaks the same language. So I love that.
You two are like kindred spirits here. You're on the
Yes.
opposite ends of the country and coming together through the. I absolutely love that we have this opportunity to have a conversation like this. All the things that you've brought, all that both of you bring. But Mark, having this chance, I do have one more question I want to ask you.
Yes.
You know, you said that your mom had kind of pushed you a little bit to write the book. What was it about what she saw that was the inspiration there that's like, yeah, I really need to write this. I need to do this piece. What do you think her motivation was on that?
You know, my mom is my greatest fan, and when she was alive, I have a YouTube channel, and she would watch my videos diligently during the week. I would speak at my local church. I'm a associate pastor at a church, and she'd always want me to send the episodes because she wanted to support me in hearing that. And I have the course that I've talked about, Life Mastery, and she knew that I had developed it and that I was using it to try and help other people. And for her, it was just another resource to be able to do that. And so for me, it was the same. And I have a full-fledged course, all the bells and whistles, one-on-one coaching on all the aspects of it that I think are transformational. But, not everybody will get to it. Not everybody will get to it right away. But there, the book, and especially an ebook version, is something you can take with you on any device you have, phone, iPad, or what have you. And so for her, it was, well, why don't you create another resource so that even more people can hopefully take advantage of it and have that in their lives. So yeah, and she was a voracious reader. I actually have been a reader myself because of that, grew up with that. And, reading books when you were younger was definitely a part of my development and really starting to grow as a person. So I think it was part of the installation of who we are as a family. So it was some of both. Wanted to be a resource, wanted to give me an idea of another way to help, and also something that she, knew that it was in the lifeblood of who we are as a family.
I love it. Moms are wonderful, and the impact
Yeah.
they leave. If it wasn't for the things that she did, I mean, that's helped bring you to where you are, that you're able to share all these wonderful insights. And gosh, I want to give you one last question here. With the moment we have left, what take-home message would you like to leave with people? As people have heard what you've said, I truly am loving all the things that you're talking about. If you could give a brief take-home message, what would that be?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I created a transformational course called Life Mastery. The part of the journey that I didn't tell you about was the 6 or 7 or 8 courses that I invested in, the 10 or 12 or 15 or 20 books that I read, and all the speakers that I listened to really trying to find transformation in my own life. And in that process, some of them brought change, some of them didn't. They all, brought habits or what have you. I didn't find the transformation, so I created a course to do it. But the one thing I did right during the whole process was I refused to give up on myself. The person that I believed I could be on the inside, that man that I wanted to see show up with confidence and assurance, I refused to give up on that dream and that belief that I can do that. I can find a way of really becoming the person I was created to be. And so in that place, I refused to give up on myself. So for anybody who's listening here, I believe I have a transformational course for you, and it can give you all the things that can bring transformation in your life. But the one thing I cannot do is to bring the motivation. And in that place, the thing I would tell you in synopsis here is If you refuse to give up on yourself, you'll find the answer and the solutions for the things that you're walking into. You'll find the things that are going to give you the tools to allow you to become that person. If you refuse to give up, if you bet on yourself just one more time, whatever you've done to get here so far, I believe that it's that one secret sauce, the one secret to being able to become the person that you're created to be. Refuse to give up on yourself, and I guarantee you your answers will come, the solutions will be there, the strategies will happen for you to be able to see that person show up in your life.
Absolutely love it. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight, Mark. Mark Collins, thank you. And again, actually, if you could share what would be the best way for somebody to find out more? Is there a website that they can go to?
Yeah, absolutely. I try to be a one-stop shop. So everything I talk about, everything I do is centered around my website, which is at freedom-for-life.net. If you want more information or more resources, freedom-for-life.net is my one-stop shop for everything that I use to invest in people.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Mark. My name again is Sue Roskoff. Thank you, Diva, for joining us, Alan Holmes and Mark Collins. This has been absolutely wonderful. For all of us here with AbilityMKE Now, we thank you.